What's the difference between American police cars and regular cars? What's the most important feature a police officer looks for in a car? And why are police cars called squad cars? We're answering these questions and more. Plus, we're looking at the fastest police pursuit vehicle in the U.S. today. Let's get going. You've seen those awesome chase scenes 1,000 times. So one thing we all know is that police cars need to be fast. They also need to be tough enough to keep going after a few knocks, and even after being rear-ended. And if there's one thing police cars do more than high-speed chasing, it's idling. They need to keep the car going to keep all those lights flashing, otherwise the battery will go dead. So, police cars need a beefed-up alternator and cooling system too. Add an ignition lock because they don't want someone just driving away with a car. Then, of course, there are the modern must-have toys like big screens, navigation, and driver's assist. Police cars also need gas. Most officers ensure that they have at least half a tank of gas at all times or a fully charged battery if it's an electric vehicle. You heard right. Police departments are now testing EV vehicles. One officer in Fremont was in hot pursuit in his Tesla doing 120 miles on the freeway when he realized he was down to 6 miles of battery charge. He called for backup, but lucky for him, the chase was abandoned in the interest of public safety. Police vehicles have come full circle as they begin to introduce EV cars to the fleet. The fastest police vehicles in the U.S. right now is a hybrid SUV, the Ford Interceptor to be exact. More about the test later. The first police vehicle in America was an electric vehicle, although it wasn't chosen for speed, and that's why it didn't last long. Prior to motor cars, police used horses, bicycles, or motorcycles. After all, you can't arrest the bad guys if you can't catch them. Let's take a quick tour of the story of police cars. Then we'll see how these evolved into the current lineup of police cars offered by America's largest car companies. The date is 1899. The place is Akron, Ohio. City authorities purchased the first ever American motor vehicle. It has space for 12 people, as it is designed to transport a squad of police officers to a crime scene. This is why it's called a squad car and how the term originated. It's a 4-horsepower electric wagon with a top speed of 18 miles an hour and a range of 30 miles when the batteries are fully charged. So it's not going to be chasing anyone anytime soon. But it has a gong that is pretty dramatic. It's also got an onboard holding cell for prisoners. This is useful as its first assignment is to pick up a drunk guy. It's not very long before the world's first squad car nearly comes to a dramatic end. An angry mob steals it and pushes it into the Ohio Canal. This is during the worst riot in Ohio's history. A 6-year-old is allegedly attacked, and the mob wants revenge on the alleged assaulter who was in police custody. The squad car is pulled out of the canal and repaired, but its days are numbered. The rise of organized crime and mafia gangs in Akron means the police need faster gasoline-driven cars. A few years later in Detroit, Police Commissioner Frank Kroll wants to add a car to his unit. When his request is turned down, he buys a Packard out of his own pocket. Within a few months, the city reimburses him and purchases another 6 vehicles. The motorcycle is popular with police, but now more and more police cars are appearing. The first patrol cars look identical to civilian cars. The PD sign is written by hand. In 1912, they installed the first radio. Now it's 1920s. Prohibition has boosted organized crime activities. High-speed chases with rum runners and mafia gangs mean the police need better gear. Auto manufacturers rise to the challenge. Fast vehicles are fitted with machine gun ports, armor plating, and bulletproof glass. But then it's the Great Depression of the 1930s, and budgets are slashed. The 1932 Ford Model B Flathead V8 becomes popular partly because it's affordable compared to similar cars in its class. Road systems are expanding. Police are getting more organized. Red lights begin to appear on fenders and rooftops. Rotation lights appear in 1948. By now, radios are working properly, and walking beats are largely abandoned. It makes financial sense. One policeman in a car with a radio can cover the same ground as several cops walking the beat. Ford becomes the first manufacturer to offer a dedicated police vehicle. They take note of what the common options police departments choose and bundle them together. This is pretty much how it's still done today. Most police vehicles start out as normal cars, but modifications are made that set them apart. Manufacturers focus on speed and maneuverability, so most of these police cars will outrun the standard cars you find at the dealership. In 1950, the Michigan State Patrol begins testing patrol cars. At first, they test only the cars with the lowest quotations. Soon, competition is so fierce that there is little difference in cost. So testing is expanded to include all vehicles to make sure the best are chosen. Testing speeds are initially done with tape measures. The color of the cars also becomes more important. The police want to help the public identify them, so they look at colors that aren't used as often, which was black and white at the time. Black and white paint is also cheaper. During the 1960s, half the police cars in big cities are Fords, but its popularity gives way to Chrysler, Plymouths, and Dodges. While the police battle to keep cities safe, car makers battle each other to provide the best cars for the city's law enforcers. It's the 1980s. The Ford LTD Crown Victoria and Chevy Caprice are the most popular police cars. Then SUVs start showing up alongside the long-favored four-door sedan. Now it's 2020. Let's take a look at the latest Michigan State Police report to see the current lineup of police cars in America and why they're preferred by the police. Testing is done at the Chelsea Proving Grounds and Grattan Raceway. The Chelsea track is 4.7 mile long, 140 mile an hour oval, which allows the police to accurately test vehicle acceleration, top speed, and braking. The report doesn't endorse the cars, it just shares results so officers can choose the most suitable car for them and do their jobs effectively and safely. So what are the top things they need in 2020? First, and no surprise, we're looking at speed and acceleration. That doesn't change. Cop cars are built to catch offenders. They need to accelerate faster and stop over shorter distances, so they need stronger brakes. The MSP set basic criteria which require vehicles to accelerate from 0 to 124.6 seconds and reach 120 miles an hour in 1.7 miles. In 2020, the new Police Intercept utility is the fastest police pursuit vehicle in the USA. It is the fastest 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 and the fastest lap speed at 1:36.47. It beat the all-wheel Dodge Charger, which clocks in at 1:37.10. Next up is safety. Most of the cars come with structural reinforcements and optional extras like ballistic panels. The Ford Interceptor is designed for a 75-mile-an-hour rear impact crash. It's the only car in the world that can boast this. Most of the cars also now have threat detection and alert monitors. If you're sitting in the Dodge and it detects a bad guy, you can program it to make a noise. The lights start flashing, windows roll up, and the doors lock. Honestly, that should be enough to scare any intruder away. We've mentioned before that the cars need to be durable and idle for long periods of time without overheating. This means larger radiators and alternators and also more power to keep the lights going. Police officers also get heavier duty seats to accommodate their equipment, and perhaps some of the many donuts that they eat. Ford's onboard electrical equipment is powered using the lithium-iron hybrid battery, so the gas can be shut off most of the time, reducing idling time. It's not a plug-in, but it can run the air conditioning lights, computer, and even a radar gun without needing to idle the engine. 4. Affordability. This never changes. It also includes fuel consumption too. Then 5. Space and lots of it. Cops carry a lot of stuff. 6. Connectivity. Big integrated screens give a great view to track bad guys. This also leaves the dashboard free for donut boxes and stuff. So we've seen that police cars are stronger and faster than ordinary cars. This really gives them an advantage out on the road. Of course, if you were in Dubai, police cars are even faster. The Dubai Police Department won the Guinness World Record for having the world's fastest police cars in service. The Bugatti Veyron is just one of a fleet of supercars. One of the problems Dubai has is people want to be arrested so they can drive in the police car. Not sure what to say to that except maybe, me too. We have more exciting car content coming very soon. So subscribe below and ring that bell to get notified of our next video.